Okay guys, we're going to do another fly today. This one's called a clan chief. This is a kind of variation of it. One that I've added a wee bit extra things to, which we'll cover as we go through it. This is a kind of Bumble series type fly. It was invented by a guy called John Kennedy up in the US. He uses it successfully for salmon, sea trout and brown trout. Hooking device, Kamasan B175, size 10. Thread, black 6/0. So usual way, start your thread, come down the hook, touch and turns, cut away your waste. Now the original, as far as I can know, I think it was wool that was used for the tail. I'm going to use Globarite for loss. So number 9 and number 3. Now the tail, when you see them in different flies, it seems to vary what one's the top. Some of them seem to have the red on the top, some of them seem to have the yellow on the top. I don't think it matters a monkeys. So basically, whatever suits you. So 2 layers, 2 parts of the floss, tie that in on the top. And if you want to keep them sort of stacked, just make sure you tie them in like that, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm sure when it's getting tossed about in a wave, up will be down and down will be up. So tie that in. Now I have seen it tied with a silver tag under here as well, a bit of tinsel. Again, that's a variant or an addition you can add yourself. Tail, there. Again, if you want to make that tail a bit thicker, you can double it up. Next thing I'm going to tie in, it's a bit of silver wire. So it's going to rub the body. So take your silver wire, tie it on the side, take the thread up to the top. Now hackles, it's got a double hackle for the body. So claret, and this is natural black, both cock hackles. Now I like these because they've got a nice taper on them. So they actually taper, as you can see they're narrower at the top, wider at the base. And it puts a nice profile into the fly. Now again, there's mixed chat on how to wind the hackles. Some people say you should wind them individually. Some people say you wind them both at the same time. I'm not bothered. I'm just going to wind the two of them at the same time. Okay, so putting the 2 feathers, put them together, tie them on the top, cut them all back for the eye. You need to leave a wee bit of room at the head. So bind them down, cut away your waist, take your thread back down to the bottom again, bind it in all the loose bits. Now it's a dubbed body, so you get away with a wee bit of a mess there. Now for the body, black seal's fur, I think was the original. I'm going to use this Irish dubbing. I'm going to use the black. Okay, you can use black seal's fur. Now again, usual manner, just dub on a nice loose, a nice thin bit of dubbing. You don't want lumps, keep it as thin as you can get it. And create a spindle of dubbing. And then you're going to wind that up the body, creating a slight taper into the body. So getting slightly thicker as you get nearer the head. So not too tight, because we're going to ruffle this out. We're going to rub it with a bit of Velcro. Now, take your 2 body hackles and wind them either together or individually down the body, the same manner you would be any kind of Bumble, Palmer type fly. Okay, so down to the bend, take your silver wire, catching in those 2 hackles. And take your rib up through the hackles. Just get it a wiggle as you go, so you don't trap too many of the fibres in. Take that up through the body. This is a big big rough fly. Don't worry too much. These are fishing flies. Don't worry too much if you're not going to win an award. Nobody cares. Fish don't care. So, tinsel nice and tight. Tie that in. And then with a metal tinsel, just twist it and it'll snap off with metal fatigue. So just tidy that wee bit up there, throw a hitch on. You get your two wee tails, a hackle, just cut them off. Okay, now this is where I like to attack it with a bit of Velcro. I just stick a bit on a lollipop stick and I just tear into it. This just pulls everything together, blends everything. Just watch your thread, you can snag your thread. So rough it right up. And comb it back. So you're combing the seal's fur and the hackles together, and it just creates a nice softer blended look. Now really that's the fly finished. What you could do is put a black hackle on there and that would be the fly normally finished. But what I'm going to use is, I'm going to put a collar hackle on. I've got a golden pheasant. This is dyed red. So it comes for the golden pheasant body feather. You could use the brighter red ones here, or the sort of more clarity ones that I've used down here. So that's what that feather is there. Golden pheasant rump feather. So again, take it ready, get it ready, pull off the rubbish, and the stem gets very thick here. So we're only going to use this wee tiny bit here, about 1 inch long. So just pull back the fibres to get as many as you can. We're going to tie it in by the very tip. Okay, so tie that in right at the head, double that back, tie it in. A wee hitch on there to hold, and then carefully wind this. It's quite brittle, so just take your time, pulling back the fibres as you go, folding them back, pulling everything back out of the way, put another turn in front. Just keep everything round. You maybe get about 2.5 turns with that size of feather. And then it's a case of bringing your thread up underneath, catching that stalk in, tie that in. Don't worry if you catch a few fibres, tidy them up a minute. So that's that. Snip away the waste. And then any fibres that are a bit straggly, just push them back and use the thread turns to build up a small head, nice and neat, and that will bind in the fibres so that they're all kind of stroking back. Okay, and then spot of varnish, onto the head and a wee bit onto the thread. And when you do your whip finish, that'll carry the thread on, the varnish onto the thread. So 4 or 5 turns, tighten that up. I would leave that varnish to dry and then put another coat on later on. So as you can see, it's a big bushy fly, plenty of life, plenty of kick coming for these hackles. The good traditional colours, the blacks and the reds and the golds and the silver, these are all good trout colours. So tie a few of them up, keep them aside for a big wave, get that in the top dropper, see if you can catch some nice trout. Hope you enjoyed that, guys.